This is reviewing for Thursday's test, so make sure you know everything here and some. Go back on your other stuff. Okay, there was a mistake on the one asked question about completing the square number 14. This should be 3W, okay, for completing the square. Forgot to type the W in. Anyways, I'll go over that. Here it asks, what method would you use and why? Then solve it. If necessary, answer must be in a simplified radical form. No decimals. Okay, let's do 6. 6, this is negative 33, and this is negative 8, right? The product, any product, 33, 33, and 11. Hey, that makes 8, right? Yeah. So we get negative 11, so the answer is negative 11 and 3 here. Leading coefficient is 1, so it's just 1x. You don't need to reduce. So your factor here is negative, x minus 11 and x plus 3. Now, we're using a magical x. Here's how you explain. Use magical x. This is the product of A and C. Magical x because the product of negative 11 and 3 is negative 33, and its sum is negative 8, because its sum right here is negative 8. That's why we can use magical x. X minus 11 equal to 0, x plus 3 equal to 0. Add 11, x equals to 11 minus 3, x equals to negative 3. That is the solution to it. That's where the graph meets. Okay, so let's try this one here. Magical x work. The product of A and C is 2. Its sum is negative 3, yeah? Okay, then you explain it the same. Use magical x. How about this one? Let's see. 12 and negative 1, right? 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Yeah, 3 and 4 would work. Three and 4. You have to have 2 negatives, so that won't work to be a positive. No. No. 1 won't be either. You have to have 2 negatives to make negative 2. No, there's nothing. 6 and 2, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. No, nothing. So because magical x doesn't work, I'm going to use quadratic. Quadratic equation. Come on, why is it moving like that? Okay, so use x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X equals negative b, which is negative 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, negative 1 squared is 1, minus 4ac. There is no solution here. I gave you a problem with no solution. All over 2 times 4. X equals to 1 plus or minus square root of a negative 16 times 3, 16, 18, 1 all over 8. No solution. This one has no solution. That can never be a negative to have a solution. Okay, let's try this one. Well, you know how to do this. That's negative 12 and negative 1. 3 and 4, yep. We can do magical x. Explain it, because the product of 3 and negative 4 is negative 12, and its sum is also negative 1. Therefore, we can use magical x. Okay, let's graph this. Find a vertex. Vertex is x equals negative b all over 2a. I mean, axis of symmetry. Negative b then is negative 5 over 2a, 2 times 1. So negative 5 over 2. Axis of symmetry. That's axis of symmetry. Now we're going to do the vertex. It's negative 5 over 2, which is same thing as negative 2.5. Okay, and use this equation here. Put that into all the x. So y equals to f of x, negative 5 over 2 squared plus 5 times negative 5 over 2. Get 25 over 4, because it's that squared, minus, because 1 negative, 25 over 2 minus 6, right? Common denominator here is 4. That leaves it negative 50 over 4. Okay, we can do this first. Minus 6, the common denominator is 4, is 24 over 4. We get the vertex of negative 49 over 4, which is 12.125. So, it is below negative 2.5, and 12.25 is 10, 11, 12, somewhere there. Axis of symmetry. Use the magical x to find a vertex. X, negative 6 and 5 here. 1 and 6, negative 1 is right there. So your x-intercept is x minus 1, x plus 6 equal to 0. So x equals to 1, and x plus 6, x equals to negative 6. X is 1 and negative 6. That doesn't look right, huh? Just doesn't look even. but it should. It says it is. Anyways, that's how it should look. Domain and range on the test. You need to know your domain and range. Completing the square. Okay, this is a W I forgot to type in. So W squared minus plus 3W equals to 5. So 3 times 1/2 is 3 over 2. Square it. Add 3 over 2. Add 9 over 4. Which is 20 over 4 plus 9 over 4. So it's 29 over 4. Factor it. Take the square root, plus or minus. W plus 3 over 2 equals to plus or minus square root of 29 over 2. The square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so we have minus 3 over 2 to both sides. So W equals negative 3 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 29. That's how you do that one. Okay, simplify. Make sure that you know when you're multiplying, you're adding the exponents. So it's negative 1, right? Y to 3 plus negative 1, so you have negative 1. Y to the second power. A lot of you got it wrong on the homework. Okay, 4 times 3, x to the 6. This is x to the 1. Add them together. Y to the negative 6. This is the 1. Add them because we're multiplying. So we get 12x to the 7th, y to the negative 5. Still 12x to the 7th, y to the 5th power. Make sure you know how to do these. Okay, distribute to the top and distribute to the bottom. Exponent of 1. So 4 squared, c to the negative 4, d to the second, over 5 squared, c to the negative 16th, and d to the 8th. 16 over 25, c negative 4 minus 16, negative 16, so it's a plus. D second minus 8, so your answer is 16 over 25. C to the 12th, D to the negative 6. Final answer, C to the 12th, D to the 6. Distribute first. 5 to the second, V to the second, Y to the 8. And that's 75. V to the 4th, Y to the 5th. Okay. Subtract the exponent. That's 25 over 75, by the way, which gives it 1/3. Okay. And V to the second minus 4 and Y to the 8th minus 5. So you got V to the negative 2, Y to the 3rd. Final answer is 1 over 3, Y to the 3rd, V to the second power. And 1 can be invisible. There goes your answer. Okay, factor this out. Negative 3 times whatever that answer is, 240. Let's go 2 and 220, 2, 110, 2, 5, 5, 5 and 11, nothing we can do. Okay, so you got 2. That's it, huh? 2, the square root of, multiply these together, 110. and v divided by 2. So we got negative 6v w to the 5th, 110. What's left is one of the v's. Okay, that's how you do those. Make sure you multiply this by 0.9 here to square root. You get 1.8. Subtract that and get your answer. Okay, I'm going to check. Alrighty, in the back side it says, use the related graph on discriminant to each equation to determine how many real number solution there is. It's 2 right here. 2 solution. 1 solution. No solution. Write this letter in the box containing exercise number. 1 is D. 2 is W. 3 is O. And then you finish the rest. Use the discriminant to find a solution. So it's b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Use line paper to solve these. To find if it's 1 solution, 2 solution, or no solution, okay? Okay, that's how you do that. This is like last night's homework. Oops, wrong button.